Welcome to Weight Loss Formula Files, a 15-part limited time series where I'm pulling back the curtain on the exact strategies, tools, and education that I teach inside my 12-week group coaching program, Weight Loss Formula. For 15 days straight, I'll be releasing bite-sized, binge-worthy episodes sharing weight loss formula secrets to help you kickstart your own transformation, completely for free. But don't miss them because they'll disappear once the program closes down. The doors to Weight Loss Formula are closing forever on the 24th of October. So if you love what you hear, you feel the pull, and you're ready to transform your life, your body, and your waistline for good, now is your time. Let's dive in. Hello and welcome back to Weight Loss Formula Files. Today we are day 12 of the podcast series, and this episode is extra special because I brought one of my amazing weight loss formula clients to share their journey. So in today's episode, you're going to hear where she started, the struggles that she faced, the shifts that she made, and really, how her life looks now on the other side of the program, which was actually about 12 months ago. And my intention for this episode today is for you to really see what's possible for you when you decide to make this change and say yes to yourself. So when this beautiful client, Kaylee, came to Weight Loss Formula, she was struggling with portion sizes, trying to make some better choices with her food and her nutrition, and she was really feeling like weight loss wasn't maintainable, and had a very restrictive and low, even did things like low calorie diets in the past, which just didn't stick. Even though she lost the weight, it was not sustainable because it was putting it back on after she finished the diet. So what's happened, since the program finished is incredible. She's been able to maintain her results for over a year now and hasn't ever had to go back on a diet again. So welcome to the podcast, Kaylee.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. This is so exciting.
I'm so excited to have you on and chat through your experience in Weight Loss Formula and really just highlight and celebrate your transformation. And by doing that, I have no doubt that you will also inspire so many women on their journey to really just say yes to themselves as well.
Yeah,
So you go.
yeah, no, honestly, choosing to do weight loss formula was one of the best things ever. It just being able now to a year later maintain my weight to what it was, and doing diets in the past which were 800 calories, plus not being able to exercise while eating those 800 calories because it's just not doable.
Energy.
Yeah, exactly right. It's crazy. So yeah, to be able to now, 12 months later, to be able to say, oh, I'm still the same weight that I was 12 months ago is crazy.
Absolutely. And it's crazy that it's been 12 months for starters. I can't believe it's been that long.
I know.
It doesn't feel as that long because we've obviously kept in touch since. But can you share with us, what life looked like, before joining Weight Loss Formula, which, as you know, is 12 months ago now? What did life
Yeah.
look like before the program?
So honestly, I struggled a lot with my portion sizes, and if I did lose the weight, I'd put it straight back on basically. And just being a bit restrictive with my food. I was going to the gym constantly, but I was getting to the point where I wasn't seeing the scales move. So that was obviously disheartening. But yeah, it was just more so my portion sizes and overeating and stuff like that, where I was like, oh, I think something needs to change here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I vividly remember before you jumped into the program and we were talking about the program. And I remember, yeah, very vividly speaking about the 800 calorie diets. That's as you said, no energy. It's just not enough, calories,
Yeah,
energy to fuel anything really.
nothing. Yeah.
And I would love for you to even talk into that a little bit more around, that experience with the diets and
Yeah.
losing the weight, but then, like you said, kind of not
Putting it.
sustain it. Yeah.
Yeah. So me, my mum, and my dad actually all did it at the same time. So we all had each other as support and whatnot, which was great. And like even someone from like my dad, for instance, like obviously being older and whatnot, like we were all eating 800 calories. Like that is so. At the time, I didn't know, I didn't clock on that that's not right. But yes, the body did lose the weight, but as soon as we all stopped it, we all put the weight back on. And like it was basically instantly too, because you go from such low calories to going back to normal life, and it's just not sustainable. Like 800 calories is nothing.
100%. It is very little.
Yeah. And
Very.
not being able to like exercise or go to the gym and in that time as well. And I was working full time. So like I was on my feet, like, 9 to 5, whatever. And like even just day to day life felt hard, like just because you weren't getting that enough energy. And yeah, it just never again.
Yeah, literally. But also, like, obviously, on the other side of weight loss formula and really having that education, obviously,
Yeah.
there's so much education in the program, which really, I guess, empowers you to then be able to make those informed nutrition choices because, you don't know what you don't know. And it's like you were doing at that point the best you could with the knowledge that you had. And,
Yeah.
I don't blame you or so many women for being pulled to those low calorie diets, the fasting, the quick fixes, all of those quick fixes, because
Yeah.
it's just so saturated out there in the market these days of like, this is what you have to do to lose weight. But no, it doesn't have to be like that.
No.
So I'm so glad that obviously we found each other and, life does not look like that anymore.
No.
Um, but just going back to I know you said kind of like struggling with the portion sizes and, I guess like losing the weight but not being able to actually keep it off and that restriction piece.
Mhm.
How did those struggles, I guess, impact your life on like a daily basis and like your energy or, even like your confidence?
I think one thing I was always like thinking about food in a way
Yeah.
and like, oh, what's next? What's for lunch? What's for dinner? Like, and I feel like now it's just like it's not always thinking about food because I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah,
It
just
does.
it like I was always thinking about food and like even though I was full, like I'd still finish what was on my plate. And now I get to the point where, oh, I know I'm full and I know I don't have to eat that. Like if I get hungry later, yeah, maybe I can eat it. I can put it in the fridge and whatnot. Even like when we go out for dinner, like I used to make sure that I finish everything on my plate because one, it's a waste of money, but two, you can always just take it home and have it the next day or, so it's
Absolutely.
just like little bits, little things like that. It's just changed a whole lot.
Yeah, 100%. And like what you were saying about, just constantly kind of thinking about food,
Hmm.
like that absolutely comes with restriction because,
Yeah.
when we are restricting ourselves of, the foods and the things that we love and, the
Hmm.
energy that we need, it's like that's all our body needs. We're literally just thinking about it. And obviously, if we really love like a particular food, like for me, it's Nutella. It's like if I was to restrict myself of that,
Yeah,
I would be thinking about that 24/7, like 24 hours a day,
literally.
right? So no, that totally makes sense. And
Yeah.
I would love to know like what made you say, I guess, yes to joining weight loss formula?
I think just because it was something different. It wasn't just like your typical one-on-one nutrition plan. It was I remember looking at your syllabus. Was it the syllabus? Yeah, I
Yep.
remember reading the syllabus and like you had everything mapped out for week to week and just like seeing the different subjects you were going to be touching on. You were like, oh, like that's something like different. And being in a group environment as well, I think with like-minded women that want to do the same thing, that want to, benefit themselves, I was like, yeah, let's give it a crack.
Yeah, 100%. And
Yeah.
like I love the like the courage because like sometimes it can be, starting something new or different can be like scary or like
Yeah.
out of your comfort zone or a little nerve-wracking, but like, having that courage to move for where you want to go and, overcoming that fear is like
Yeah.
leads to incredible amounts of growth, right? Um
Definitely. Yeah.
and like I know like you have said, and like so many women who have been through the program have said like this, like weight loss formula is so different to anything else they've ever done. And
Yeah.
the reason like what sets this program apart from anything else is because, it isn't just a diet or a meal plan or, here's this, eat this on this day at this time.
Yeah.
And, because that doesn't teach you anything. Like you
No.
don't how to be able to navigate, festive seasons, how you can go out to dinner with your friends and still, be able to enjoy the experience
Yeah.
and still, be able to maintain your results and make choices that are aligned with your goals. So it really gives you that the education to make it a lifestyle, which
Yeah.
I've spoken about before as well. Um,
It's
and
definitely a lifestyle change rather than a diet or like you know what I mean? Like you can go about your normal life and not have to think, "Oh, I can't have a cocktail tonight because I'm on a diet." But realistically, you can make things like that work, and that's I think learning that from your tools was so helpful because I used to go out so many times and, "Oh, I'm not going to have a bevy tonight because I can't." But realistically, one won't hurt at the end of the day.
100%, 100%. And actually, I remember throughout the program, I remember you messaging around, I think you had something on like a weekend, and you messaged me and you were like, oh my God, like over the weekend, I was able to, have a good time,
Was
have
that my birthday?
I could have been.
Because it's like, because this time, like, because my birthday's on Tuesday, so I think I have a feeling it might have been something to do around with my birthday. Yeah.
It possibly could have been. And yeah, I remember you being like, "Oh my God, like I could still do that and enjoy it and not feel guilty and actually still feel like I'm, making progress
Yeah.
on my journey." So I love that.
I
And
actually remember because I went out and I had a few drinks that night, and then the next day I weighed myself and I had actually lost the weight.
that's
That's what it
right.
was.
Yes. That's right. Yes. And that was, I know, a very like pivotal moment on
Yeah.
which we'll talk about
Yeah.
shortly as well. Um, I feel like we kind of already like touch into it a little bit. But like how would you say weight loss formula is different to, I guess, other weight loss programs or things that you've done in the past?
Yeah, like I've done like just nutrition plans in general. Like it's not a nutrition plan. It's just as I said before, it's a lifestyle change. Like you get to choose what you want to eat, but you can portion it out to what suits you. And like those tools where you got your hand palm for your
Yes.
like your
And
protein
that's
and your
important.
carbs and going off that, it's so much easier than one tracking and weighing your food where you can just like eyeball what you're eating and know that that's sustainable for you. And like it's a great tool. Like and I hate weighing and calculating my food and calories and stuff like that. It's just like for someone like me, like that's just I'm not going to stick to doing that. Whereas the hand portions I've stuck to doing that. So yeah, that's been a great tool.
Yeah,
And
absolutely. And like it's like your hand is portable. You take it with you
yeah,
everywhere you go. And like
exactly.
so much more sustainable. Like, obviously in this podcast series, I've spoken about in, earlier episodes around, why I don't recommend calorie counting and all those sorts of things, because exactly like you said, it is just so time consuming. And, for most people, you don't actually need to count calories to get the
Yeah.
results that you desire. If anything, it's making it harder and actually sabotaging, people's weight loss
Yeah.
goals.
Mm.
So yeah, thank you for sharing that. And
That's okay.
um, from memory, because as we know, it was just over 12 months ago now, what do you remember like any fears or maybe doubts like coming up for you before like making the decision to jump into weight loss formula?
Not necessarily. I think it was more so like the money aspect side of it. But after I got through that, like I was like, yeah, let's do it. Other than that, like not really. It was just like being something so different. I just wanted to give it a crack
Yeah.
and just like yeah. So other than that, no, not really. I don't think so. Not
Yeah.
that I remember.
And I mean, it was 12 months ago now,
Yeah.
good memory. But I mean, finance is obviously a barrier for, a lot of people to,
Yeah.
invest in themselves.
Yeah.
And like I said before, sometimes it's really scary taking that leap. But like, when we're thinking about investing in ourselves, like
Yeah.
it's not a cost or an expense. It's like it's an investment which
Yeah.
gives us something back, right? It has
Yeah.
returns. So and I mean, being here speaking 12 months later about the program and still having maintained your results and being
Yeah.
able to keep the weight off and not having to ever diet again
Yeah.
is yeah, true evidence that the investment was, totally
Oh,
worth it, right?
100%. Like, I don't even think about the money aspect now because, like, still to this day, I utilize all your tools and, like, that's money worth in itself. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Absolutely.
great choice.
I love that. And so once you joined the program, like from memory, what shifts did you, I guess, start to notice like first?
Um, I was doing the like body measurements. I think that was sort of, I was noticing those going down, and obviously like a change in my clothes. Um, and just like overall, just better in myself.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah. And not
Absolutely.
like that constant like head noise of food and whatnot. So like there was a lot of different benefits. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. And like, I mean, even outside the scales, I feel like from memory, like energy levels, and I know you were obviously doing the gym program
Yeah.
in like throughout weight loss formula as
Yeah.
well. And I remember you like smashing through those gym workouts as well, which, as we know, movement is medicine. And
Yeah.
actually you up not long after that did your certification as well, didn't
I
you?
did. I did
Yeah.
complete them. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
remember that. Um, and so, in terms of the, I guess, mindset of, dieting restrictions and like, I guess the mindset, that you came into the program, and, how that's like, how has that really changed now, even 12 months later, and even, I guess, like just your relationship with food, which I feel like we've kind of touched on already. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, is there anything else you want to add
I
to that?
feel like my relationship with food now is a lot better. Like I can like I don't restrict myself. If I feel like an ice cream at night, I'll go have an ice cream. But like I don't have one every night, but when I feel like one, like I won't stop myself because I know that I will then end up binging on something like that. So I think I've just learnt to, yeah, just not restrict myself around food, where if I feel like something, have it. And once I'm satisfied, just stop eating because there's no need to make yourself feel sick. Like, just, yeah,
100%. And it can be so easy to be like on autopilot, like, just going through the motions of the day and like, you get home, you sit down, you're like, I'm gonna have an ice cream. And then like
yeah.
you're just not even present where you're, just completely not mindful at all. And it's like
Well, that's right.
you don't realize. And it's like
Yeah.
ice cream's gone. It's like, oh shit. So like being able to be conscious and present and eat slowly,
Yeah.
eat mindfully and
Mindfully,
actually
yeah.
yeah, and actually notice like your appetite awareness like
Yeah.
stopping when you're actually full, right?
Yeah.
So I love that. And um, in terms of, I guess, like a specific moment or like a specific result that you are most proud of from the program, tell us more about that.
So there was that video that I sent you, where I got under 100 kilos and I hadn't been that since like doing that 800 calorie diet. That was the moment I was like, holy shit, this works.
100%,
Like,
100%. I got tears from when you sent me that video. I literally like got tears. I feel like I'm getting like teary now.
yeah.
But yeah, there was just so much emotion in that.
Yeah, it was, and that was that night after going out and having a couple drinks, and I was dancing and whatnot, but to still have those drinks, have a fun night out, and wake up the next morning and have a weigh in and see the scales under 100, like I was like, holy shit, like I can still have fun, I can still go out and have a couple of bevies with my friends and eat what I want, like and not be restrictive around food and everything like that. Like it's just, yeah, that was like the moment. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, I remember getting that video and I was like, oh my God, like I'm just so proud. And like not only I guess did you, hit that milestone on, the scales. And obviously we'll talk a little bit about the scales in a minute, like kind of like detaching from the scales a little bit.
hmm
But we're 12 months later now and you've been able to maintain, that weight for over a year now.
Yeah.
Like that in itself is a huge win, especially when, before the program it was very different to like very, different to that. Um,
Yeah.
so I love that. And what felt, I guess, possible for you after finishing weight loss formula, then I guess what didn't feel possible before the program?
I think just knowing that I could lose the weight without being on a restrictive diet. So, like, yeah, I'm honestly like point blank.
Yeah, 100%. I feel like we've really, I guess
Yeah,
spoken into the transformation
yeah,
a lot today as well, but 100%. And again, like I was saying before, it's like like we don't know what we don't know. Like education empowers us to be able to
yeah,
make those informed choices in a way that's, both enjoyable and also aligned with our goals so that we can, like you said, go out with our friends and have a few drinks, have a few bevies, have fun, but still be able to focus on the choices that we're making most of the time so that we can allow room for those choices some of the
yeah.
time because, they're the ones that like make life worth fucking living, right?
Exactly right.
100%. And let's talk a little bit about the scales before we kind of start to wrap up today's episode. How did you find, I guess, your like what that looked like, the relationship with the scales before the program, during, and like after?
So when I was on that 800-calorie diet, we had to weigh ourselves every single fucking day. So I had a very, very, very bad relationship with the scales. I like before we started, I had sort of like I wasn't as bad, but I was still like consistently weighing myself. Um, and yeah, now honestly, the last time I weighed myself, I don't remember.
I love that. That's huge.
It was a couple of weeks ago, but like yeah, a couple of weeks ago, maybe. Yeah, something like that. Like honestly, I don't check them like very regularly.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously, that's something that I educate in the program around,
Yeah,
really detaching from the number on the scales and not weighing, daily, weekly.
yeah,
Weight loss really does happen in cycles and not day by day and not week by week because, there's also so many things that can cause fluctuations. So,
yeah.
the fact that, before the program, it was very much like that.
Consistently. Yeah,
Yeah, and that really, I guess, only fuels the all or nothing, the restriction, the
yeah,
dieting, approaches, which, keeps women in that sort of like yo-yo cycle, which
yeah.
is so challenging because it's like, you feel like you're doing everything you can to make these changes, and then it's like you feel
Not
defeated when,
seeing it.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's a huge, huge win. So that is amazing. And I think you also mentioned you still go in sometimes into the educational videos and watch them.
Yeah, yeah, every now and then I'll go through and just have a little bit of a watch, or I'll just reread like with the portion size stuff and whatnot. So yeah, the tools are so like versatile, and like I keep them, they're all in a little folder on my emails, like from when you used to send the emails through weekly. So they're all just tucked away in a little folder, and they're like right here on my phone, like, and I can look at them like when I'm out, like on a weekend or whatever, and yeah, they're there for me whenever I need, so like that's great.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, sometimes we just need a little bit of a refresh because it's like
Yeah.
sometimes like we're humans, we forget things. So like having that lifetime access as well means that you absolutely can go back and do a refresh at any point, especially like
Yeah,
thinking, like the festive seasons. Like I have other clients who actually someone just recently messaged me and they were like, I just went in and watched all of the festive season and holidaying ones because they've got a holiday coming up, and then obviously like Christmas. They're like, just to refresh myself, and I'm feeling like confident coming into that period.
yeah.
So yeah, amazing. And, I guess, Kaylee, your journey really shows that, weight loss isn't just a number on the scales. Like, it's about really creating a lifestyle that
Yeah,
actually lasts and,
yeah,
one that really gives you freedom, confidence and balance, like without that restriction.
yeah.
If there was someone listening right now that is maybe where you were before joining Weight Loss Formula, maybe a little bit unsure, maybe struggling, or maybe like thinking like nothing will ever work for them or they'll never be able to lose the weight and keep it off, like what would you say to them?
Honestly, bite the bullet and do it. The resources, the tools that you provide are great. You've got them for life. The weekly Zoom calls that you do with the group are great because it's, yeah, you're talking as a group, but you also go in one-on-one on like the food diaries and stuff like that. So that's great to utilize as well. But honestly, like just do it. If you want a lifestyle change and you don't want to be restrictive with your eating, and you just want to, not worry about that stuff anymore, honestly, just do it, because it's life changing.
Yeah, I love that. Just do it,
Yeah,
Nike.
just do it. Bite the bullet.
100%. And obviously, for those listening, you've probably heard me throughout this series say that, the program is closing down for good from Friday, the 24th of October. And we do only have a few spaces left. So if you are sitting on the fence, make sure you make a decision sooner rather than later so you don't miss out. And Kaylee, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast and sharing your story, and also having the courage to come record to the podcast as well. Because yeah, I have absolutely no doubt that it's going to inspire, so many women listening today. And if you are someone who's listening to this right now and you've really resonated with Kaylee's story and you are ready to create your own transformation, join us inside Weight Loss Formula. As you've probably heard me say before on this podcast, Weight Loss Formula is my 12-week group coaching program that will teach you my step-by-step formula to finally lose the weight for good, get fit, and feel energized without the dieting, as we know from today, without giving up your favorite foods, and without spending, hours and hours in the gym. And there is less than a week before the doors do close, and there is only a few spaces left. And this program has really been a powerful container for almost 3 years now, which I cannot believe. Like, it just goes so fast. So if you are ready to claim your own transformation before this program and container disappears forever, send me a DM on socials and we will chat. I'll also put a link in the show notes below which has some more information. But is there anything else, Kaylee, that you'd like to share before we kind of close up?
Yeah, just thank you so much for having me. This has been fun.
Yeah,
I've never done something like this before, but yeah, it's been great.
I love this. I remember it was also really like a PSA for those listening. It was really last minute because I actually had a client
10
who,
o'clock last night.
no joke. I had a client who was coming onto the podcast to record this morning, and there was something that happened which meant she couldn't come on, unfortunately. But Kaylee, I first thought of you, and I was like, I'm going to ask Kaylee. And she was like, I've never done anything like that, but okay, I'll do it.
I'll sing, but I don't normally talk.
Yeah. I think you were like, I'm not a really good speaker. And I was like, don't worry, I swear on the podcast and I fuck my words up all the time. So funny. And also touching on the singing for a second, because I know that's something, in the last, what, 6?
Yeah, not very many months.
Yeah, but you've gotten into singing. Like, tell us a little bit more about that and tell us where, anyone listening could find you, because you have a beautiful voice.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so in the last since May, I've always done singing, and I've always been a singer but never done anything with it, and I've always wanted to. But in May I had a little bit of a gig in Windsor, and so did another gentleman, and we just started talking. We had mutual friends, and then he goes, "Oh, I prefer to play guitar if you prefer to sing." And then we just had weekly catch-ups, and we formed a duo, and our duo is called By Chance because we met by chance.
I love that. And that's actually such a cool name.
My dad actually came up with that. I was like, oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, go dad.
Literally. But yeah, you can find us on socials. Our Instagram is bychance_music, and then you can just look us up on Facebook under By Chance. I'm pretty sure that's just our Facebook page. But yeah, we've been doing local gigs, especially the Aussie in McGrath's Hill. We've been going down to Paradise in Lower Portland. Our next gig is actually on the 4th of November at RG McGee's in Richmond, yeah, for the Melbourne Cup Day, so that'll be fun.
So cool, so much fun. And what I'll do is I'll link the your social pages in the
Yeah,
show
sweet.
as well. So if anyone wants to go have a little bit of a listen, and you. And I
I'm
love it.
enjoying.
Yeah, 100%. And I love that you have really followed your passion and, followed the things that, really light you up. Because I even know throughout the program, there was, some things going on kind of around that time of your life where you're like, oh, my intuition's telling me no,
Yeah,
me. And I feel like since you've just really moved into alignment. So I love
yeah,
that.
yeah. I definitely have. There's been a lot of change in the last 12 to 12, yeah, 12 months, just about. So much has changed. Jobs change. just yeah, so much has been going on. But yeah, I've really found a happy medium with especially with doing my singing and that I'm enjoying that so much. That's if I could turn that into a full-time career, I'd be laughing.
Yeah, so let's make it happen. And
Yeah,
one day,
manifesting.
yeah, 100%. One day, if I'm ever on stages, I'm going to invite you to sing because I cannot sing for the life of me.
I love it.
Well, thank you so much for coming on today, Kaylee. It's been such a pleasure really actually catching up and reflecting on your journey
Yeah.
12 months later. And honestly, I cannot wait to see how you only continue progressing on your journey for years to come.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. This has been fun.
My pleasure. And for those listening, I will see you tomorrow for day 13 of Weight Loss Formula Files. Bye for now.